Today, we're discussing why one of the first companies we've ever talked about on this channel is up over 25% in the last few days. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tin Invest. Today, we're not going to break down a company once again, but rather we're going to follow up on one of the first stocks that we've ever broken down on this channel. The company we're looking back into today is Sonos. In the original breakdown video, I started off by asking a pretty cheesy question. Oh no or oh yes? Let's talk Sonos. And well, I guess the answer at the end of the day is oh yes, because this stock has been on fire since it reported earnings last week. And lucky for me, I bought shares like right before they reported. And I kind of mean it when I say lucky, because typically every time I buy a stock right before earnings, I get burned. Like every time. And in ways that just don't make much sense at all. For example, just last week, Callaway, they reported unbelievable earnings and still dropped. So it doesn't make much sense. Or last year, how about this? This one kind of made sense, but still it was just annoying. So me and my buddies, we were looking at stocks that were reporting earnings, and Smith & Wesson was one of the companies. So at the time, we're like, oh, the demand for guns should be up for different reasons. And we let's buy Smith & Wesson right before, and they should have a good earnings report, right? So we buy it, and we were right. The demand for guns was, I believe, at a record high. But the stock price still plummeted. Why though? Well, there's another factor that came in. Though the record high demand for guns was there, they also didn't have enough materials to make the guns and reach the demand. So Smith & Wesson plummeted. What I'm getting at is there's so many factors that play into earnings that it's it is a coin flip and a complete gamble trying to invest in and buy a stock right before earnings. But like I said, this time when I bought some shares of Sonos, I definitely was on the right side of the coin flip. Because they literally haven't had a red day since I bought them. But the reason I bought Sonos' shares right before earnings is actually kind of funny. It wasn't because I've been watching them so closely and expected this crazy movement. I was literally on vacation in Palm Springs for one of my friend's birthday. We rented out a big home. It had a pool, it had a few guest houses, it had tennis courts, everything. It was massive, right? And all throughout the house, music was playing simultaneously in sync perfectly. And every time I said, play a song, this song, it was easy to turn on and easy to change. So me being the person I am, I asked the home manager and the person running the home or whatever, hey, what system do you guys use for the music? And what do you know? The guy says Sonos. He went on to rave how amazing it works and how great it is. And then he went to show me the main controller for the house. And literally all it was, which is super cool, an iPad built into a dock in the wall where the Sonos app is pretty much locked in. So whoever wants to go to it just goes to the Sonos app and can search any song they want to play from any and all platforms and press play, and it begins playing throughout the whole home, not the whole home, the backyard, the guest house, it's everywhere, all in sync perfectly. And the best part about all of it is it was easy enough for anyone that was staying at the home to figure out how to use. And that's when it hit me that, shoot, I really could be onto something with this Sonos stock. So even with a few drinks in me, I decided to walk away from the party and just go look up and see how Sonos has been doing the last few months. So that was Tuesday, and that night I came to the conclusion that if I wake up early enough and if I remember to look into Sonos, then maybe I'll buy some shares. Well, the next morning I wake up at 6:35 before everyone, and I'm like, shoot, I can't go back to bed, so might as well do this. So I go outside, I jump in the pool, wake myself up, and I get on the layout chair, I get my computer, and I go to schwab.com. I mean, if you don't believe me, watch this. I'm the king of the castle. So yeah, I hop on Schwab, and at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to really do more research than I've already done in the past. I know this company. I like them. I don't own any shares at the moment because I sold the ones I had in the past. And honestly, I was worried that if they report a monster earnings, they can shoot up once more and I'd have to pay a higher premium in the future to ever own this company. So I decided, hey, I'll buy some shares and we'll see what happens. Well, I bought the shares. Later that day, after hours comes along, and they absolutely killed it. The stock took off, literally almost $4 a share, which was about 10%. And I thought, damn, that's going to be it, right? Well, I was wrong, because now it's Saturday and the stock is still going up. I mean, the plan wasn't to make this video on Sonos. I literally was coming to my studio today to make a video on tops. But I was looking up some things, and Sonos was one of those things, and I saw that they were up another 12% over this weekend's after hours. Now, I'm not sure if this will resonate to Monday, but if it does, that will put Sonos up over 25% since I recorded and posted the breakdown video on Sonos. But why are they booming like this? What did the earnings show that's finally making people realize the potential in this company? Well, let's discuss. In quarter 3 of 2021, the big numbers for Sonos' earnings come from their quarterly revenues. Those increased 51.9% year over year to $378.7 million. This is likely driven by the robust demand for their products. When breaking down where the revenues come from, about 82%, or $310.2 million of the total $378 million of Sonos' revenue comes from the speaker sales. Next, Sonos makes about 12% of its revenues from its system products. I'm guessing this refers to things like Sonos Connect, which is what I talked about in my last video, and it's also how I discovered what Sonos was. It's a system that basically runs all the music in my house. And then lastly, about 6%, or $20.8 million, comes from partner products and other revenues. This is up over $10.3 million from a year ago. The reason for the 100% growth could be because of the strategic partnerships made with companies such as IKEA. Overall, Sonos saw their gross profit rise to $177.9 million compared to $109.8 million in the prior year's quarter. Their margins also increased 3%, from 44% to 47%. One of the reasons for the higher margins could be because the total operating expenses decreased almost 4%. This reflecting things like lower R&D and marketing costs. Looking forward, Sonos claims that they remain focused on releasing at least 2 new products each year, which, by the way, they've already exceeded in 2021 with the introduction of products such as Sonos Radio HD or the Sonos Roam, or even new partnership products with IKEA and Audi. In July, IKEA added to their line of products by introducing a picture frame with a speaker built into it. Due to everything discussed above, Sonos has raised their outlook for the fiscal year of 2021. The company now expects their revenues to grow at about 28 to 29% year over year. They think they could see numbers as high as $1.7 billion. This compared to the prior guidance of a high of $1.67 billion. Well guys, that's all for this week's follow-up video on Sonos. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, please be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're still a little bit confused on what exactly makes Sonos so special, please be sure to check out the first video I posted on them. I give a full-on company breakdown and do my best to allow you to leave with a full understanding of what exactly Sonos does. Again, I want it to be completely clear to you that I am not a financial advisor, and everything I say in these videos is not financial advice. So always remember to be sure to do your own research after watching these videos. Well everyone, that's all I got for you today. And again, be sure to check out some of my other videos. Who knows, maybe one of the companies I've recently talked about could be the next big winner. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Always remember, the time is now.